Over the years that I've built companies, I know what it's like to go through a recession. I've been through 3 of them. And I feel like every time you go through a recession, you learn something new. How do you handle the next one? Now, hopefully you survive it. Sometimes you don't. I know I didn't once. In fact, twice I had 2 companies that didn't survive recessions. Luckily, I have other ones that have done really well. But learning how to deal with a recession is part of being a business owner. And one of the things that my mentor used to tell me is that he said every 10 years there's going to be a major recession in the United States. Sometimes there's opportunities, inside of those recessions. And one of the most important things that I think I learned, I think I finally got it right in this recession. And that is 8 years ago, my business partner and I started a company called Finance Solutions. And it was always doing well. And about 4 years into it, we started both being a little bit concerned about what would happen during a recession and to Financing Solutions. And one of the things that we thought would happen was we thought the revenue would go down. But when the recession came back, was over with the revenue would come screaming back. And that's exactly what happened with us. So we've been lucky in that Financing Solutions has done well. Revenue's gone down, but profits have stayed pretty good. So, but 4 years into Financing Solutions, we came up with we started looking for another business that we felt would be counter-cyclical to Financing Solutions. Counter-cyclical in that either it does well during recession or it does well regardless of a recession. And this isn't the first time that I looked at businesses that I wanted to do well during, regardless of the economy. But what we came across was a business industry called funeral funding. Now, it wasn't. It's not what you think. Like we don't provide money for funerals so that people can get buried. What we do is we buy life insurance policies when a loved one's passed away so that their family can get their loved ones buried with the life insurance policy without having to wait 60 or longer days for that money to come in. Now that luckily that business has done tremendously well. We actually have 2 people running it for us who are doing a great job. And then we provide the advice and we provide the financial backing as well. So, the message that I'm kind of talking about today is the idea that during a recession, there's opportunities, maybe now or maybe in the future for you. And where you should be spending the time, or at least a percentage of your time, is looking for maybe another business to start, maybe looking for another product to sell or another service to offer. Use this time wisely because sometimes during the recession, let's face it, sometimes things slow down and you have that time. And what I find is I'm busier during a recession trying to make things happen for the future than when it's not so when the economy is doing well. Sometimes when the economy is doing well, I go into autopilot. And this isn't really the first time I've had a business that kind of helped me through recessions. 15 years ago, I bought a 10,000 square foot office building that I really put a lot of money into, fixed up, and then I rented most of it out and saved some of it for my own companies. And that really has given me not only a passive constant income, it allows me to have an asset to borrow against with the banks. And then the third thing it allowed me to do was to have a lot of flexibility with my offices, or my office space, depending on the situation, where I would shrink down to a smaller footprint or increase based on the amount of employees I had. So today's lesson, really the thing that we want to learn today on the Entrepreneur MBA is use this time wisely. I know some of you might be just trying to survive and working hard on a day-to-day basis, but if you have that extra time, carve out 25% of it or put somebody on your team on the assignment. what other businesses can we go into? What other services can we offer? And what other products can we potentially come out with? Hang in there. One of these days, the recession will end. I still believe it's going to take a long time. I still believe it's going to take 2 years more for this thing to end. But I'm sure you'll do the best you can.